Hey, do you love video games, weed, and hilarious conversations? Well, then you'll love Game Buds, the podcast where 5 friends get stoned and have elevated conversations about video games. You know, video games. Join Nick, Travis, Ryan, Andy, and Matt as they share their opinions on gaming. Listen to their funny life stories and make sure to have some munchies close by. The Game Buds are universally acclaimed and objectively correct in everything. This is true. This is true. This is Nick saying this. They really are. So do yourself a favor and tune in every week for a new episode. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. So join the hangs wherever you get your podcasts.
Poseidon in... Oh, this is one I got for you. Poseidon and Michelangelo in Record of Ragnarok, I might add. Which I know is one of the animes you've actually watched. So
Yeah, I've watched that one.
Oh, and King Shark. King Shark. Sorry. That was, I don't know where that came from.
Hello and welcome back to a brand new episode of everyone's favorite podcast, the Critical Arcade Podcast. I am your co-host, Nick.
And I'm Dave.
Hello, Dave.
Hello, Nick. You well?
I'm disappointed.
Hey, I wonder if people can guess which game we're reviewing. But go on. Why are you disappointed?
I'm disappointed. Well, this is, ladies and gents, you know why we're disappointed. This is the second part of this week's double feature. Pew, 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 pew. Double feature. We just reviewed Persona 3 Reload, and now we are moving on to Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League.
Yeah. Like, moving on and moving past, hopefully, very soon.
Hopefully.
Yes, well, everybody, like I said, everybody must have heard it's out and about. It's Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Again, I feel bad for you because... Ladies and gents, Nick there is a massive Rocksteady Games fan. Batman
it's so
fan,
unfortunate.
Arkham Knight, Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, or whatever all the Arkham games are called.
Yeah, those are them.
I did that well. I was just pulling that out of the air.
It's so sad. It really is. We'll get into this later, but yes, this is the newest game from Rocksteady Studios.
And Warner Brothers.
8 years?
Yeah, that's right. It's something that crazy, isn't it? It's that long.
8 years.
Again, it was one of those interesting things at the internet reviewing this. I know Rocksteady. I played the Batman games, but I haven't been a huge fan. And there was one glaring issue a few years ago in Rocksteady Games when Jamie Walker and Stephen Hill, the co-founders, left Rocksteady during the development of this game.
There we go.
After 18 years.
Yep.
This wasn't something like that is not a quick decision one makes after 18 years of building up a business. That is super hard.
The signs really were there.
Whoa. That's crazy.
The signs were there that this was not turning out to be the project that we all hoped it would be.
Yes, obviously. Yeah. It had every possibility to be great. Set in the same world, DC, all that, yeah, no doubt.
No, but unfortunately, this game turned out to be a bit of a dud, a bit of a deadweight game. This is so unfortunate. The rumors have been going around, and those rumors have been confirmed. This game isn't good.
It's one of those things, ladies and gentlemen, it's one of the best things again in this regard. Nickel, big fan. He's got massive disappointment. I would in theory be their target market. I played the Batman games. I liked them. I don't remember them like extremely fondly. They were great. So this would be, I'm like the blank slate kind of what they'd be aiming this at. And Nick's not wrong. It's just bad. No. It's confusing with how bad
it is. It's really so confusing. How did this happen? How? This is the same story as BioWare dropping the ball with Anthem.
Oh, yes, right. That was a big
Remember that entire chapter?
Yeah, no doubt.
How did somebody go from the Mass Effect trilogy to Anthem in, I don't know, 6 years? How does that happen? And it's the same with this.
It's with this. For me, like it kind of covers a lot of the categories, but I played this game, and it feels like literally 2 studios made it.
Yes.
There are parts where you feel this is a Rocksteady game. This is Rocksteady. It's comfortable. I get that. That's kind of like a knockback. Oh, I see what they did there. And then you can almost see like the frame change, and it's like, whoa, this has just stopped being like. And I've seen that in the audio, visual, and the narrative. It's like they just said, you do this A, you do B, we'll combine them, and they'll be great.
That's it.
That's exactly
it. This isn't a game by Rocksteady. This is a game by somebody that copied Rocksteady's homework.
Yeah, it really is. And it comes across in everything. It really does. It's jarring to a degree when you play it.
It's so unfun. I mean, even in the tutorial mission, the starting mission, the very first one, it starts at the end. I think it's called. Oh, what's it? This is in medias rex. Is that it?
Possibly, yeah. I know they try to be funny with all their chapter names. Yeah, that sounds about right.
No, that's the narrative device. But
sorry, I misheard you. Yes, correct. Yes, that's right. Starting at the end. Yes, correct. Yes, sorry, you're correct. Yes.
This game did that, and it was such a bad choice. Such a bad choice to start at the end. Why would you do that? After you've quote unquote killed the Justice League, Metropolis is in ruin, and now it's time for the traversal and combat tutorial.
Yeah,
which isn't even that good.
It was messy.
Yes.
It was one of those weird things. Ladies and gents, I'm sure you're used to it in games. You do the tutorial and you learn the basics, and then your character evolves with you. So learning the basic shooting and then a little bit of a better shooting or different, you kind of evolve your skills with the game. This game felt to me, when you started and you had all the moves, it was really strangely complicated.
Yeah.
And maybe that's me. I'm not a huge shooting game and enthusiast. I do play them, but there was shoot this way, scope, and then shoot this way. Then there's attack for the shields, and then there was a special counter shoot that you had to hold another trigger with to shoot.
Yes.
I was like, whoa!
Why?
Come on! It's granted, I'm sure there are lots of players out there with ambidextrous do this with ease, but I was like, whoa! This is a lot at once.
I still didn't get it. We are now starting with gameplay. Let's go back to narrative.
That's true. Let's just a few things. Like, we all heard, game came out, massive server issues. It was crazy. People got, like I said, the server issue thing, it made me laugh because you got full completion, and I wish that happened. I wish I started the game and got full completion, and then we could have stopped. That would have been great. That would have been actually how the game should have gone. That would have been handy.
Congrats.
Anyway, narrative. Okay.
The narrative.
The narrative.
I know. The narrative for this game deals with the fact that the Justice League, a meta-human club of gods, everyone knows the Justice League by this point, have turned into mind-controlled villains.
Yeah.
And apparently the only team who can stop them is the Suicide Squad.
Yes. Well,
that's it. No other heroes. No Cyborg, no Aquaman.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about those, to be honest with you. Granted, you can see I'm not hugely... Okay, the base concept. That's like the base concept of the game. I don't mind. I actually don't mind. I'm thinking...
Okay.
There's enough there in that simple sentence that you think to yourself, how? Right? How do the Suicide Squad kill the demigods and stuff like that? You're very right. So that for me, that's got the hook. I'm like, okay, now I'm somewhat intrigued. And that's where it ended. Like, it was. I was like, we all, in the Batman games, taking down Firefly, taking down Lex or whoever, all the different bad guys you took down, there was always kind of an elaborate way. It was relatively quite clever or fun. So I was always, I started off blank slate, and I'm like, okay, Justice League, super powered. It's Suicide Squad, super uncontrolled, ragged, the normal story.
Yes.
So I was intrigued with how this works. How do we do it? And that was the first maybe 10 minutes after the game started playing. And then, oh God, it was two studios.
It does definitely feel like it. There are parts made by, I don't know, Unknown Bad Studio, and parts made by Rocksteady. There are parts where I can feel the magic for about 15 minutes, and then it disappears entirely. Yes. Entirely.
There's a part where you go through the Batman Museum.
Oh,
that to me felt Rocksteady. Good. That was Rocksteady. Yes. It was dark, it was gritty, it was retelling the other stories, so it's definitely in the same universe, so very cool. That was a good moment, and Batman's...
Not just that, but you can hear and feel Batman above you, hunting you.
Exactly right. It was scary, it had that edge. It was good. That bit was good. It was kind of interesting. It was fun.
And then...
Anytime you go out of a building, fundamentally, Metropolis... Okay, again, this was an 18, right? This fully an 18 game.
Yes.
Were the other Batman games 18s? I forget. I feel like they were.
I think so. I think they were R-rated.
They were, I think.
They had to be.
They had to, especially the last couple with Joker losing his mind and
something like that.
So they were 18, I'm pretty sure, right? So 18, we're thinking a mature script. It's all about death, the end of the world, so that's fun. And then it's got some deep bits, and then it's like jokes for teenagers. Like, the amount of just really basic, like, I don't know, dick jokes.
Yes. And a big part.
Just jokes and all those other things which in theory this game's not aimed at. It's aimed at people over 18. Now granted, I like a bit of silly humour here and there. Nothing wrong with it. But the jokes in this, not once did it hit, except for I didn't mind King Shark was funny. The rest didn't like. Did you like the humour?
Wow, okay.
Did you like the humour?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
So this is where we differ.
No.
This is where we... Okay, so anytime the squad had some banter, that's not for you. You didn't...
I don't mind banter, but at one point, ladies and gents, sorry, it's going to be a crew, they all admired Captain Boomerang's junk. Not just one of them, they all had to add a one line to the admiration. And I was like, okay, you don't have to milk it. It's funny slightly.
Yes.
Didn't you find that? Okay, maybe I am older than you, so maybe it's the grumpy old man coming into play.
Could be that. It could be that. I actually... Ooh, you know what would be fun?
Go on.
Which member was your favourite?
Oh, this is so hard, but it was King Shark.
King Shark?
I know, because he's the quietest. He was also the most abused in this game. Like, I don't know why they were mean to him. And it might just be me, I was confused if he was supposed to be smart or dumb. I know he was slow.
Wise, maybe it? It may be wise?
Wise, yeah. Like I said, the first time you meet him, he's trying to plan out or map some sort of town because he's interested in architecture of things or something like that. I thought, okay, super smart guy. Next moment, he's just muscle and dumbass. Granted, I know nothing about King Shark. I found out in this game that he's a demigod, and I guess his dad was a god shark.
That's right. King Shark is a bit of an anomaly because he's not just man shark.
Yeah,
he's much more than that in the comics as well. But he constantly jumps between being smart and dumb, whereas Deadshot is annoying all the time.
All the time. Agreed.
Well, I really didn't like Deadshot. I liked Harley.
Harley was right. I thought a voice actor was very good. She had
Tara Strong. She's been doing it for decades.
Oh, really? That's good to know.
Yes.
She was also...
Tara's... Yeah?
Yeah, go on. I think you were going to say it. Go on.
Yeah. The same thing, right? I think Tara Strong has been voicing Harley since the animated series.
Yes, and she did all the Arkham games as well.
Correct.
All the ones Harley was in, right? I don't know if
Correct.
Yeah, exactly. No, it was good, and yes, I give you that her writing was decent. And they kept calling her a widow, which I thought was really harsh because but got you. The banter for me was a little too much, and granted, I give you, I'm grumpy. We're talking about the end of the world, and all of it was banter, continuous banter.
Is trying to be. It's trying to do that Avengers thing where you're being superhero, but you're still throwing quips and it's lighthearted and it's a fun adventure.
Yeah, and they keep milking the same joke again and again.
Doing it
again and again.
I enjoyed the banter. I enjoyed the dialogue. I've got it down on my notes here. While the story makes no sense to me, the dialogue I quite enjoyed.
Okay.
Even Captain Boomerang, he's actually dumb, but I find him hilarious. I think I'm in the minority.
Intrigued. Does Captain Boomerang have a big pass with the Flash? Because
I don't know.
That's brought. I don't know if that was canon. He seemed to really hate. I guess Barry Allen, right? Captured him a lot. That was interesting. I like. There was another thing. I don't know if this is narrative, but it was also in performance, which cracked me up. In these games, much like Arkham Knight, they have this big codex or database or lore that you can go into, right? And unlock. And hell, I learned all about like Clayface and the weird little puppet thing. All these other Batman bad guys I never knew about. So it was interesting. Yes. Do you know the codex in this didn't work? There was bits which you could read, which was great, and they unlocked as you met things and achieved things. But there were tapes you could play. Yeah. That didn't play. There was the play button. You could press X and stuff. No audio came out of any of them.
Really?
Not one. Now, granted, could be...
That's a performance issue.
Yeah, not one. I like those bits, especially like if you've been killing baddies for an hour or so. For me, King Shark. Where'd he come from? Why's he got the tattoos? That's all kind of interesting. But yeah, they didn't work. The written bits, yeah, they were perfectly fine, but the audio tapes did not work.
That's odd.
But anyway, narratively...
Come on, Rocksteady! This isn't like you!
It's one of those weird things. We start off these things and saying we don't want to ruin the story. And in this game, it ruins itself. This is what everybody... I'm sure, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard on the internet. Everyone's talking about it. The ending of this game. I'm not going to go too much into it. But it's not an ending.
Of course it's not an ending.
It's a cash grab.
Of course
it's like an advert. That's
right,
what it really is.
Can't end. It's not allowed to end because this was forced to be a live service game.
Exactly.
Came into Rocksteady Studios, put their fat ass down into the boarding room, and they told them, listen, I've got a great idea, and if you don't think so, you can GTFO.
Yeah, really does feel that way, like in its entirety. Yes. And the worst thing is, ladies and gents, the deluxe edition, the one you could get like 3 days before launch and stuff like that, was $100. $100 for a game as a service, or whatever the hell you call these types of games.
That's insane.
That should have been 10.
That is insane to me.
Right?
That you paid that much money and you get such a small part of the package. Okay, let's get into that at the end of the show, because there's a lot we can say about it. Is there anything left for narrative?
Narrative that I found the story, it wasn't the worst. The boss fights were kind of lame. I'm not a huge comic person, so I don't know what this was canon, which wasn't. So I don't know which part of it was like Warner Brothers and which wasn't. So it was often very confusing. Like I don't know, Nick. Do you know? Is there such thing as golden kryptonite? Is that something?
What?
Yeah, right.
Listen, Superman's been around for such a long time. It really has. I wouldn't be surprised if somewhere in the 1970s. Issue Superman 954. Yes, they found golden kryptonite. I don't know.
The narrative was trying to be smart, but just doesn't pull it off. Like different metaverses or worlds or Earths or whatever, and they're trying to be complex, and it just wasn't. Yeah. It was like, again, it was like different people did their bit, and they just pasted it all together in like this weird mishmash. Like that. But no, narrative. Go on.
Speaking of, I think whoever did the bit for the visuals did an extremely good job.
Like Again, like I said, I don't know. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I will point out that I did not read too many reviews or other people's opinions before we did this game because I didn't want to be coloured by it. I thought the visuals, the start of the game, as in Metropolis.
Yes.
Is Gotham City in Metropolis, by the way?
No, Gotham City and Metropolis are next to each other.
Ah, okay, thank you. I was wondering what's playing the game. I thought the overall good cutscenes I thought were actually kind of great.
Yes.
Those were really well done, right? They were smooth, they were well detailed, the facial expressions and stuff, all of that was
just
really
looking
good.
at the Suicide Squad just doing things in a cutscene, that's good.
Even the daft and dopey things that they do were all quite smooth and fun.
Yes.
And it was. No, that was polished.
Just King Shark pushing away Captain Boomerang with such ease.
Yeah.
And then him trying to tackle King Shark back and then falling on his back again because he's such a tank.
And that the beginning sequence, the cutscene where they're all fighting over the nano bomb tube or whatever.
That's the remote thing.
That's a great scene. It's really well done. It's really fun. It's, that was great. That was... Now, whoever did the CG was very good.
Yes, I enjoyed looking at this game. I'd go so far as to say the cutscenes are the only spectacle there seems to be in this game. When you meet Batman for the first time, when you meet Wonder Woman for the first time, it's good. It is good. The presentation is there.
I agree, except for one area.
Yeah, yes.
And I don't know if you, there's one area...
Of course I've got this. Of course, I know what you're going to say. Do it.
Is it enemy design?
No, I was going to say user interface.
The user interface was insane. Don't get me wrong. I didn't even write that down because that was a given. The user interface in this thing is mental. But no, the enemies, generic green, purple things. Every time.
That's it. That's all you need to know. Generic purple enemy. Yeah. Wham bam. There you go.
Normal enemy.
That's the entire enemy.
Yeah. Melee, purple enemy. Big brute, purple enemy. Sniper, purple enemy.
Armored, purple enemy.
It's all just... I know I was thinking when I was playing the game, and I was thinking, am I being harsh? And I tried to think Gotham. Now, all those thugs were kind of the same-ish. They were big, muscled skinheads most of the time. But then you got the guards, and then it was... Exactly. There was variety, and a lot... It felt different, more different. This was always just purple, and... All of the time. And we'll talk about later on in the gameplay a bit, and there was always just so many of them on the screen, which just added to... Almost like playing Space Invaders or something. It just got to the point that you were just shooting the purple. There's some purple over there, purple over there. Shoot it. It wasn't fun.
No. It wasn't. That's so right. It wasn't fun to look at.
Yeah, it was... Yeah, I don't... Again, it feels like two studios, because the cutscenes, polished, nice, lovely. The Metropolis was kind of alive, bright lights, some dilapidated buildings, a bit of... I liked the dusty visages of people that got abducted or something. Cool little ideas. But then it just gets boring. And
it gets boring because it doesn't go anywhere. It stays the exact same from the start to the finish. Finish in air quotes, because this game doesn't ever finish.
And the laziest thing, sorry, I don't know, because you said the exactly same thing. Even when you go to Earth 2, 3, or wherever you go, it's the exact same Metropolis, just in grey.
Yep.
And the lights switched off.
Still purple enemies.
It's literally like they just took the original thing and grayscaled it, and there you go. That's the second part done. A bit of fog, a bit of depression, I suppose, but that was it. There wasn't like buildings were now fallen over, or everything had changed due to the it was literally just kind of a grayer Metropolis.
Yes.
Which wasn't impressive. You expected something big and whoa, this has changed entirely. But it was just kind of grayish, like a newspaper.
The saddest thing is that this is coming from a studio that made Arkham Knight.
This is what everybody got so annoyed about.
I cannot believe it took them 8 years to go from that to this.
I did see comparison pictures as well.
Arkham Knight's...
I always get confused. Arkham City is the one where you were like locked in behind a wall in one little like small city, right?
Correct.
And then Arkham Knight is when it was basically the whole of Gotham.
Yes, three big, huge islands.
Yeah, with the tank and stuff. I always remember the last one. That's right.
Okay, that's right. With a Batmobile. That's Arkham Knight. The best one.
Oh, you like that one, dude? Most people like, or a lot of people like the second one because it's got that wacky, bright purple over there, bright yellow. You know, you could see the segmented Copper Pot and the Riddler and Two-Face and stuff all had their own little areas.
Yeah, you could see all of that. No, I prefer Arkham Knight. I think it's a better game.
But because because those cities were alive. they were bright. They had character here. They had definition there. They had, you know, no crime here. That type of thing. You know, it's this place. Again, it just felt like someone started it. And then someone maybe gave somebody else to finish it, or this area did this. It just comes across throughout. Like, there's no doubt the CG cutscenes, they got the big budget because those were they were very good. They were very good. They were a lot of fun.
I won't lie. I am a big fan of these nice looking cutscenes. The moment the Suicide Squad finally suited up.
Yeah.
And they've got that slow-mo walk.
Yeah, fun moment. Yeah, no doubt.
Good stuff. That's good stuff.
It's one of those things when it's I've spoken to Nick about this. Being subjective is a pain in the ass because you can imagine Nick, this being his favorite games and turning into this, he doesn't really want to say nice things about Warner Brothers and Rockstar's new game, but you cannot not call out the visuals when they're good, and this does have good visuals. Part of us wish we could just say it's just horrible, it's a trash bag. But this does actually have some decent visuals in it. And someone made them. Someone somewhere out there with a team made them, and they deserve a pat on the back.
Please, don't let the artists...
That's what I mean. People forget.
Don't throw the artists out with the bath.
Exactly. Bathwater, right? It is...
That's
one thing I always like to remember. People always forget what they say, oh, this is crap. Oh, this is shit. Like, come on, this is all just trash. Stop putting everybody in that boat, because there are a team of people dedicated, maybe worked at Rocksteady for years and they just wanted to. There are people on that team that wanted this to succeed.
Definitely.
So much, as much as anyone playing it.
Yes, and then there are people who made the Lois Lane videos, and they should definitely be fired.
Yeah, well, granted, I saw them on the big screens throughout the city, right? I like I said.
Yes, that's right. Those were wow,
they were, weren't they? You only just brought that up, and those were PlayStation 3-esque, right?
Those were some of the worst I've ever seen. Truly. There's a video in one of those Lois Lane videos. It's just her face, horrible lip syncing.
Oh,
and
really?
She is talking to another man through her phone. And all of a sudden, this man, you hear a scream, a crack, silence, and then Lois says, "Bruce?" Yeah, and then it's Batman on the other end saying, "I'm coming for you next, Lois."
Wow. Great Batman impression, by the way.
Thank you. It's nowhere near Kevin Conroy's voice.
No, it really isn't, but it was good.
What I'm trying to say is the video didn't change at all. No, I don't think Lois even blinked.
No, I can picture her on the screen and I get exactly what you mean. It's that stoic face. Remember Mass Effect Andromeda had that one character model of that woman? I know you haven't played the game, but she was very famous.
Infamous picture.
Yeah, just had no emotion to that face, and I'm just
like
picturing
that. It is exactly like that.
Yeah.
Jeez, I don't understand how they. I'm gonna say this again. In Arkham Knight, there were posters and advertisements all over Gotham.
That's right.
And passing by one, you could see Joker on one of those.
Yeah. No,
you remember this?
I'm with you. Yeah, I do.
And then when you turn the camera back, it's gone. No more Joker.
That's right.
How on earth? That is so creative, so smart. How just to blend it into the gameplay, and then they went to this. I'm like crying.
Out of curiosity, what was the age gap between the Batman games? Like 3 years or so, or shorter?
Arkham Roughly. Asylum was 2009. Yeah. Arkham City was was that 2011?
Give me
And
rough.
then
So that's
Arkham
3
Knight
years.
was 2015. Let's Google Arkham games. Arkham games in order. Here we go. Arkham Asylum 29, 2011.
Yeah.
Oh,
3.
I forgot about Arkham Origins, which was made by a different studio.
Okay, I actually don't know that one. Strange enough, was that the Wii one or was it? I know Telltale.
No, Arkham Origins was made by Warner Brothers' studio.
Oh.
Their internal studio, and it's people tend to forget about that one because it's not a Rocksteady game.
Literally forgot about that one, but yeah, go on.
Yes, and then Arkham Knight's 2015. So 2009,
So 3, 3, and
2011, 2015.
Right? So what? And then I'm just sorry. Just remember, this had double. That's the only thing it keeps. This had double the production time. Now, granted, some delays, and I think Corona would have come into play there somewhere. But just remember, it had twice the production length and time and the ability to finesse things a bit better, and didn't.
Yeah.
Anything else visually?
This is the Lois Lane videos were my last point. I'm a big fan of the facial animations. Those were excellent.
Yeah, no doubt.
I saw a screenshot of Gotham and Metropolis next to each other, and they really do look. There's a night and day difference, pun intended.
Nice, I like that.
Thank you.
No, I agree. I think I saw those pictures too, from years ago, and how the one years ago looks so much better than the one now. Kind of comparisons,
It's insane.
Right? Yeah,
It's insane.
I got you.
That's all for visuals.
It's another one again. Like I said, we'd like to crap on it, but audio in this game has ups and downs.
Exactly. One of the ups, if I can say it like that, is the voice acting.
Of course. It's literally 80% of my page for audio is the voice actors. Because
it is that good. It is that good.
It's a pedigree of voice actors if you've ever seen a list of voice actors.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
For sure.
Of course, everybody, we have to mention Kevin Conroy. Sadly, he died of cancer, right? During, just after.
I think he did.
This.
May he rest in peace. This was this his last bit of media?
Yeah, it really was. Which the whole internet had a big thing about it, how they've done him dirty with the storyline.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either. It's a shame because it would be really great if we had, just before he died, if he had interviews doing this Batman.
Yes.
And I kind of think he would have enjoyed it. Just
yes,
because
I think so too.
Every actor loves to play the bad version of something just once in a while, just to play the uncontrolled, brutal. I bet you he had fun with it.
That's it. That's exactly it. I bet you had fun with it because all this time he's been playing the straight-laced, stoic Batman, and now he gets to do it a bit differently, which is a bit fun.
It was unfortunate timing, and I always, everybody gets a go, and I don't. This is the one thing where I say I don't really see that as Warner Brothers and Rocksteady's fault.
No, not at all.
It'd already been filmed. It had already been recorded. It probably had already been edited and everything all perfectly, and it would have been a bit weird to change it as well because that was all his work. If they changed it, you're kind of being
exactly
mean to it.
Then a lot of other people would have said that would have been disrespectful.
Exactly. So I think they get a bad press for that, which I'm not entirely sure, because I think he would have enjoyed it. There's very few people who don't love doing the opposite to what they normally do.
I read a good point about this earlier as well. Before he signed off on all of this, he read the script.
Yes, of course, makes sense.
He read the script and he signed off on it. He did all the lines and he signed off on them. If he felt this would have been disrespectful, he wouldn't have done it.
We are talking a veteran in the game of voice acting in Batman. We're not talking some amateur or needing the money or something like that. Yeah, I agree. That's completely true. And then, of course, we've got all the other voice actors in this. It's insane.
It is. We've already talked about Tara Strong.
Yeah. She's also, I don't know, have you watched the TV series Loki? I don't know if you have.
No, I haven't. I try to stay away from Marvel since Endgame.
Little animated clock in that, which I found out, which I thought kind of cool. And then we've got Captain Boomerang, is played by Daniel Lapine. He plays characters in Forza 3. He's actually a pretty big actor. He played in Black Mirror. He played in Amazon Prime's Catastrophe. I always say that word wrong. He's actually quite a big actor. I don't mean to say that voice actors are like failed actors, but Deadshot is a gentleman called Bumper Robertson, which is that's a great name. He's played Vladimir Saul in Starfield. He was Dr. Terrence in Redfall. He was Cyborg in a lot of DC loved programs and animated series and stuff like that. Poseidon in... Oh, this is one I got for you. Poseidon and Michelangelo in Record of Ragnarok, I might add. Which I know is one of the animes you've actually watched. So
I've watched that one.
Oh, and King Shark. Oh, sorry. King Shark. Sorry. I don't know where that came from. I got so excited because King Shark was Joe Sanoa, I'm probably saying, who played Sweet Tooth in the Twisted Metal series, which I don't know if you watched yet, but he was great in Twisted Metal. And then as soon as I saw this, I thought, of course it's him. It's his voice. It's great.
Yes, you said
intimidatingly tall
he's
fella.
A wrestler?
Yes, he's been wrestling fundamentally for years. Like, he's not a young man. I don't follow wrestling. He's relatively famous in wrestling circles. He's supposed to be a really sweet dude. I walked up.
Okay.
I looked up, sorry. We've also got Waller, played by Deborah Wilson, which I know from the Star Wars games, right?
Yes, she's on your ship as an ally lady.
The other Jedi. Oh god, there's so many people. Jason Isaacs played Brainiac. I didn't clock that.
Jeez,
Who's Jason Isaacs?
There's a lot. There's a lot of actors in this game.
Go on, you must tell me who Jason Isaac is. You must know Jason Isaac.
I don't know who Jason Isaac is.
You do, because you've watched Harry Potter.
Wait. Give me a hint. Who's Jason Isaac?
He is a bad guy in Harry Potter.
Oh, shit.
You're gonna kick yourself to some degree.
No, I don't want to Google this either. Okay, yeah. I'm Googling it.
He would be in Slytherin, I believe.
Isaac.
Originally.
Whoa, this guy!
Who in Harry Potter?
Whoa, he's Lucius Malfoy.
That's right, yeah. That's
wow.
Right. It's cool, right? As soon as I saw that.
Lucius Malfoy.
Yeah.
Lucius Malfoy is controlling the Justice League to take over Metropolis and the Earth.
Yeah, he really got up there with his powers and after Voldemort fell.
Whoa! So it's cool, we're fighting a Death Eater? That's what's happening?
That's right. But isn't it, again, the budget. Look at the budget.
Yes. It's huge.
And Nolan North, of course,
it's
for
Warner
Superman.
Brothers.
Yeah, it is. The budget was massive. It's like, and these are the cream of the crop. The cream of the crop, almost certainly a lot of up and coming too. These people are going to be in the industry for years. So the budget in this game was fundamentally insane. Like, really up there.
Well, it must have been, because this game was in development for 8 years. 8 years. A ton of money must have been spent on this, and that makes me so sad.
It is sad.
That makes me so incredibly sad that amount of money and manpower and talent was really wasted on a game like this.
Pissed down the drain to a large degree.
The voice acting's great, but then the other sound effects is not.
That's what I was going to ask you. I don't remember them. What, your audio man, what else?
It's so disappointing to sit down and actually listen to the guns.
Okay, yeah. Okay, just
they
generic.
All sound generic. They all sound just so unimpactful.
Yeah, I can see that.
They don't sound good. They do not sound good. I don't say a lot about Call of Duty. But one thing that Call of Duty and the Doom games and Wolfenstein do get they do guns right.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
This game does not. This game does not do guns right. It might be fun playing around, but the guns sound boring. You hardly get any recoil. They don't feel or sound impactful at all.
No, I agree.
When you're fighting with a shotgun, it's a paper plane.
Well, King Shark's got a bloody minigun or Gatling gun or whatever you want to call it.
And it doesn't feel like an SMG.
Yeah, it doesn't feel great at all.
No.
I can't remember. Music? Is there music? Is there foreboding music? I guess there has to be.
The only music I picked up on was during the Batman sequence. I very, very instantly picked up,
in the museum,
this
right?
is the Arkham trilogy soundtrack here. This is what I'm listening to. And all the sound effects, the bat, his claw shot just letting him swing around. All of those sound effects were taken directly from the Arkham games.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
That's so good. That made me feel things. That made me go, yes, Rocksteady is here.
They're
here for 10 minutes, but they're here.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what other noises, and they were all generic. Even was it the same actor that did the Riddler's voice? It sounded alike, when you find those Riddler things around the city, which were again really relatively boring in this game.
I think so.
I was trying to think the sound effects, like when you blow up something or other, or God, the game's so boring. I can't even tell you what you blow up. Turrets.
Turrets, that's what you... Turrets, tanks, helicopters.
And a tank that's somehow controlled by a bionic, or a flesh thing, but a tank. Was there anything that explained that these things were viruses to computers that I missed?
No, I
don't get the tank.
I don't think that is explained anywhere.
Okay, anyway,
I think
I digress.
they are aliens.
Yeah, I digress.
Full stop.
Yeah. Okay, audio-wise, like you said, the voice acting is kind of amazing. There's no doubt. The voice acting is pretty great.
It really is. Just like the visuals, that team needs to be commended and applauded.
Agreed.
But then we get into
You're going to go to gameplay, aren't you?
This bit. This was, for most games that have got bad visuals and audio, or just lacking visuals, audio, and narrative, gameplay is the one that saves them, right? If the gameplay is good, I'm willing to put up...
Agreed.
I'm willing to put up with a bad story, bad-looking game, bad-sounding game. If the gameplay is fun as hell, I'm in.
I would point out the gameplay for this, just a quick one. The gameplay is kind of co-op in mind, right?
Oh, yes.
Would be a ton more fun with 3 of your friends. That's kind of a point. So we played it fundamentally only on our own, but you get AI. Your squad does controlled by AI, so they do join in. But this game, if you are co-oping with your friends, would be better.
It would definitely be better.
Not a lot,
if you and the squad are online and for some reason choose to play Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
This game is better than if you
sorry,
played
I interrupted you. Go on.
No. That is a very good point. This game is funner if you play it with friends.
It is. But, sorry.
But.
Go on. I've got so many things here that most of it is confusion more than anything else.
Most of mine as well. Gameplay and value for money have some big chunky pointers.
No doubt.
So, in the gameplay, I'd say the biggest part of the gameplay that people like are the gunplay and the traversal.
Yes, that would be your given. Like Batman's traversal was always great, right?
Exactly.
The cape,
and the combat.
grappling hook, everything. Yeah, that was a ton of fun.
That's about it. The rest, I don't think anyone cares.
No, agreed. Oh God, everything about this gameplay is eventually you don't care. There is nothing like one bit it blew me away. You got it. This is a game as a service, or I don't know what's the term again. Is it called game as a service? Live service game. So I've seen Fortnite. I played other games. You see it. You get materials and all this other thing you collect from things or experience all this. And we were flying around. I'm trying to expand my gameplay without just doing the story. So there's turrets, I blow them up. There's tanks, I blow them up. And then as you blow up tanks, you get money. And I can only tell you get purple, red, green, and blue stuff. I never really made any point in understanding what that stuff was, because it didn't explain it. Again, just this random stuff. And then I get a message. Oh, look, Copper. Is it Cobblepot, right?
Cobblepot, that's right, the penguin.
Penguin wants to help you upgrade your weapons. And I was like, yeah, I'm down. Love that. So I swing over or fly over, whoever I was, back to the Hall of Justice, or whatever it's called. I don't remember what it's called. And I go to him, and I'm going in there, and I go, shotgun, I want to see what I can build now. And then you get that little display things, red, purple, yellow, and it's all RNG. Every single aspect of it is a dice roll.
I could not
believe it. So there's not even anything I can like save up and grind for and unlock, because I've got RNG every single time I roll. So I could get 3 of the same guns using all my materials.
Yeah. It makes
and I
no
just
sense.
thought that is insane. You just made the entire thing pointless.
It's almost past the point that it's confusing me and it's making me mad.
Yeah, like
Why
even the
would
point
you
of money
design your game around this? Your
It was
looter
nutty.
shooter around just randoms.
I've never seen that. Granted, I've not played too many. Taking into account, remember, this was a full-priced game, $100 for the pre-release thing. This is fully there, and I've never gone to an upgrade menu bit, which was exactly the same as the online service that you pay for loot boxes and all the other things that you. This was just RNG. Yeah, granted, you unlock some games that, some weapons that you already owned that you could duplicate. But that's not a ton of fun, now is it? I don't want more of the same guns. I want to see what new guns I can get.
Somehow,
just
the fun bit in this game evaporated.
Yeah,
quite
it
quickly.
gets sucked out.
It evaporated very quickly because the greedy heads of corporate modern gaming immediately set its claws into this game.
It really did. It was again. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. The Far Cry, you have all those hundreds of things you can take out the little bases. You can collect this, and then there's a ton of them, no doubt, too many of them. But at least you get them done, right? You tick them off.
Yes.
This one, it was only
play
late.
the game.
Only later in the game did I notice those big purpley beamy things just kept respawning the turrets and stuff. I thought I was knocking them off like a list. There was 40 of them. Once I destroyed all 40, maybe something went unlock. But no, it was just randomly generated again for like very little reason. There was just a reason to shoot things. That was it. And a bit more materials of green and blue and purple and money for some reason. It was. Again, this was a fully paid for game.
What happened was just progressing through the game, just playing it and progressing through the game. I don't want to play a game for years and years on end.
No, this
isn't it. This is a single player studio forced to make a live service.
Yeah.
BS.
Even the upgrade system. I played this game, maybe 6, 7, 8 hours. I got 4 points in my character. I managed to upgrade her 4 times. There was I played Harley a lot. There was 60 freaking things on the upgrade tree. I would have to have ground.
Upgrade trees.
Yeah, it would have taken months.
Exactly.
Absolute
it would have taken
months.
years. That's the entire point of these
trees. It really is, and it's horrible.
It would have taken years because because they want you to play this game continuously over and over and over. One playthrough of this game isn't going to cut it.
It really isn't, and it's
according to them. But nobody wants to play this game afterwards.
It's boring.
Anyway,
that's what I mean.
We're getting riled up. Let's get back on track. So we've got the gunplay, and we've got the traversal. The gunplay is fine, but that's not the point. It would be so much better if each character had their own skill set that we could play around with.
Yeah, a ton of fun.
All we've got
are
guns.
Yeah, I only found out later that you could. Like you said, own style. I always thought Harley Quinn was a pistol and like an SMG. The Shark was a minigun and a shotgun. Boomerang guy was a shotgun and a sniper, and Deadshot was a sniper. I thought those weapons were locked in as character choices, which made them a bit more fun, because then if I wanted to be a sniper, I'd be one. But no, later on you find out you can give anyone any weapon. So that just made the characters more generic as ever.
Exactly. They are all so generic. The only part where they are not generic is how they get from this rooftop to that rooftop.
And their specials,
jump,
that weird
swing,
special attack.
Fly or zap. That's it. That's all. That's all you do. That's the only difference between these characters.
It's again, like I said, from your perspective, knowing that the games are old and stuff like that, and this is what came out, and the internet is right. We point out all the nice things, but I'm playing a game that says kill the Justice League with a bunch of rapscallions, and it was boring.
It was boring.
It was just boring. It should have been.
Boring.
There was no world. This should have been a boring game.
The things that they make you do is so generic. I've got it here. The mission design is generic, quote unquote, looter, shooter, open world type missions, and would have benefited greatly by being interspersed with, linear type missions like the Batman one.
Yeah, the Batman Museum bit. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. That's it. There are one or two of those, but that's it. The rest of the game is just generic looter, shooter, open world type missions.
And there are 7 protect the transport / payload missions in this game, which matches, if I'm not mistaken, isn't that a thing? I don't know much. Overwatch and stuff. Isn't there a whole payload, push it to one side to the other?
But...
And it seems like they're matching that same type of thing, because you just had to basically you had a van that drove strangely very slowly in the future, or wherever this is fundamentally, or very high tech, and you had to protect it just for too long from again just lots of purple things.
That's a competitive arena shooter.
Yes, exactly.
That's so different to here, which you are supposed to be getting a power fantasy.
Yes, that makes sense. Yes, I agree.
Yes,
entirely.
You can't tell me that this game doesn't want to give you a power fantasy. The name of the game is Kill the Justice League.
Agreed. You are taking down gods. Of course, you're going for the power trip side of it.
The core gameplay loop somehow, just as you said, is boring.
It is. It's weird. It is.
We're not trying to be mean to this game. No. This game is just designed horribly. It's like they made some decisions early on that crippled them.
Yeah, I agree.
And they were too proud to back down. Or Warner Brothers forced them to go through with these decisions. Yeah, one or the other.
It feels like that big corporate just room with somebody overlooking and just smacking the table with the cane, and the love has been sucked out the room to some degree. And you can see it in gameplay. Gameplay is so generic and boring. And
it is.
Insane. Like you said, it's insane in a title of a game called Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. If this was Fort Defender 4, you'd expect like a generic just defending your fort. This is... it's just... Like you said, I'm getting riled up how boring this was. And it had no
just because
needs
of
to
the
be.
Budget, the studio, this Warner Brothers and Rocksteady. You're right, if this was a throwaway game called Kill Yourself Crew murders
right? Just a generic shooter.
Murders the superhero squad.
Yeah.
That would have been fine, but no. Just because of the potential squandered, and that makes me sad and mad.
And we haven't quite said it yet, and I won't go into full details, but ladies and gentlemen, this game, in theory, requires you to play 13 other, I guess you'd call it, add-ons, to, in theory, complete it, which aren't available in the original game. You complete it, and then there are 13 suggested other storylines for you to fully complete the story.
You know what? Let's save that for value for money.
Is that value for money?
Let's bash out performance.
Performance then. Go on.
Let's bash out performance. So, this game landed in a bit of controversy a couple of days ago. There was, let's see here, there was a bug that led to the servers shutting down for about 12 hours.
Yeah, right.
And this happened 3 days before the launch. Yes, get this, owners of the deluxe edition had early access, meaning some people paid to have 72 hours early access to a game, but they were robbed of 12 of those hours.
And let's also point out,
of the time that they paid for.
In theory, this will be the lightest traffic their server would have, because this is the people who bought the first, I don't know, 1 million copies or whatever they sold. So this is in theory, it's like to make sure your servers are going to work fine, because after that window, you're going to, in theory, get everybody else buying it and playing it. And yet they still crashed almost within a few hours in.
Was it a crash? Was it?
It was written wrong.
I don't
It was written
think,
wrong, I think. Yeah.
A stress test was the issue. What? There was a bug that...
Yeah, that's true. No,
it did something to people's saves or something.
Yeah, just completely gave them the you've completed the game. Congratulations.
Yes,
have everything unlocked.
So because of that game-breaking bug, they somehow switched off. Why did they... To fix that bug, did it really take 12 hours?
I don't know enough about those types of things, so I agree it was a long time, but who knows what that really is? Like, we need a more
Who knows what happened behind closed door? What we do know is that people who paid for that premium
They
didn't get the entire premium they paid for.
Yeah, they got in-game credits, by the way, to compensate them for their time and money.
Nice.
So like cosmetic in-game credits so that you can get a new hat or shoes
no thanks.
or
No
whatever.
thanks.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was horrible.
That's not okay. Do you have anything else for performance? Or
no, just really the network issues. I even found it weird. I'm being very finicky. You know those bits where it would explain your mission type to you? It'd be like, oh, this is the new baddie, so make sure you counter him. And then there was like often a button that said sweet. Or
sweet.
It took a really long time for those to allow me to press. I'd read the brief, and then I'm like, okay,
really?
I want to hold the button in to go to. I get it. I'm with you, and it wouldn't engage the circle. Or whatever.
That's a bug. Mine definitely let me do that.
And I didn't know if that was I'm guessing that was a network issue. Maybe it's my internet. Who knows? But yeah, there was weird times. I was like, come on, I get it.
Okay, let me play the game I don't want to play.
Yeah, I am kind of being nitpicky to some degree. That kind of bugged me a little bit.
Oh, that's a tiny bug.
Value for money, Nick.
Shit, value for money. My first note, horrendous.
Let me point out, ladies and gents, this I think, I'm looking now, this is the first ever on Critical Arcade 1. I'm looking now.
Is that?
I
cannot be.
Oh, wait, no, there's another one. Rainbow Six. You gave value for money, also a 1. Siege. But we both gave a 1.
Yes, we did. And the Caligula effect.
Yeah.
Men in Black Alien Crisis. Okay,
I saw that.
This is one of the first ones.
You got to love the idea that this is matching the scores of Men in Black Alien Crisis for the Wii.
I cannot
with the budget difference.
It's balmy. But besides
no
that, right, David. I wanted to ask you: have you heard of the game Hyenas?
Maybe slightly. It rings a slight bell. Go on, explain some more.
Hyenas was a game in development by Sega.
Yeah,
and it was apparently their biggest budget title to date.
Yeah, I feel like I've read an article about this.
Hyenas, they've spent just hundreds of millions of dollars on making a live service shooter, much like Apex Legends, Finals, Fortnite, what have you. This was Sega's entry, Hyenas. It was almost done. It's had open betas, I think, or closed betas. I don't even know. And then they tossed the entire thing in the can.
Yeah, like I say, I can remember I might have read an article about it. And the reason being?
The reason for that is that Sega realized that once they launched this game, keeping it afloat, keeping it relevant, keeping the live services going for a couple of years is more expensive than just tossing it in the can now.
Yeah.
And Sega realized that the live service Golden Goose...
Yeah, the model itself,
exactly, is not sustainable unless you're that 1%, an Apex or a Fortnite.
Right, Fortnite. No, agreed.
If you're not that,
agreed,
the live service model falls in on itself, and you make a huge loss.
I read
Sega realized this and tossed an entire game in the can.
I read an article, be it true or not, I can't remember who wrote it, that Palworld's servers are like $500,000 a month. And that's granted that they got the highest concurrent players or something on Steam or something. So it's a big server cost, but that's $500,000 a month.
Yes.
So a year's worth is what, $6 million just to run your game. That's
one of the reasons Sega tossed Hyenas in the can.
Yeah, exactly.
Which makes me again so sad that Rocksteady are going to be spending the next couple of years maintaining this
I just don't think it's going to happen. I don't think that the 13 whatever endings, what you want to call it. I bet you they get to like 4. Because you're right. I bet because the cost, the level of interest, you'd have to do a cyberpunk level of remodeling and fixing and stuff.
True. Which also cost a couple more.
Yeah, which would I I hope it happens. I don't see it happening because
Me
it would
neither.
cost.
Unfortunately, not with Warner Brothers' level of sniffing a dud.
That's
if they
exactly
sniff
right.
a dud, they drop it immediately.
And you're right. The space is saturated. Fortnite, Finals, Valorant, and all those. It is a very
Apex, all of those. You're right.
Very saturated market. Now you need a new idea. That's what. This is far from one. Yeah, I agree.
This game has such bad value for money, and the
really
reason
is.
for that is due to the amount of the package you're receiving for your initial $60 purchase.
Yes, that's the crazy part.
Buy this game for $60,
Yeah.
and what percentage of the package are you receiving?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, it's like everything's
50%, 70%.
It's not even like the Telltale games, which were sold for like $20 when they came out with a great story and was fun and stuff. This is like the opposite. A full-priced game behind a paywall
and still
galore
got multiple paywalls.
Battle passes and all this other.
Oh man, I've got it written down here. After you buy the game, you have, here we go, the option to buy more skins, color schemes for those skins, headgear to go with those skins, trinkets for your guns,
Yeah, I saw that.
trinkets
Yeah,
for your
trinkets for
melee
your guns,
weapons,
yeah.
banners, emotes, and as you said, everyone's favorite, a battle pass. After you buy this game, you still have the option to buy all those other things.
I didn't even go into that menu on the menu screen when you press
No,
start
don't.
or whatever. I saw it and I was like, no. And you can see the banners. 20% off now for the newly open price for super veterans.
Bug off.
No, it's nutty. I still can't get that this was paid for. If this was a free to play like Fortnite and stuff,
there we go.
I'd have been like, okay, I get it. I get what you're trying to do. Formulaic story, formulaic. Sorry.
Do you think this might go free to play?
No, Warner Brothers. Does Warner Brothers have another IP that's free to play that I don't know about?
I don't think so. I don't.
Nah,
know.
they're too greedy.
Really
Warner Brothers is just too uber greedy. Not a chance, in my opinion. Maybe I'd prove me wrong. I'd be happy to see them prove me wrong. But no, I don't see it.
It's live service games have turned into a curse in the video gaming landscape.
I agree.
Really, there's such an extremely small chance it'll stick around. And
I agree.
A very high likelihood of it absolutely destroying studios.
Yes, and it has in the past.
It definitely has.
I know that was it Player Unknown Battlefield, what the hell it was called? I know
PUBG.
Their business has actually shrunk by 20% since initial release of that game due to the space being saturated. It still has players, obviously, but their business has actually gotten smaller instead of bigger due to the server costs and all the things you were talking about earlier. Yeah, it's just not a space to grow in and do anything with anymore, except for, like you said, the first 1% that got in there early and just masterfully.
That's it. And ever since that, publishers are trying to get their slice of the pie
all the time. That's
with
literally it.
no remorse to the studios that they're putting this under.
No, agreed. It's what I read a weird connection, but Square Enix just released their financials for last year.
Yeah.
And they showed a decline in online games, i.e. their World and something else. I forgot what they also do online.
What, Final Fantasy 14?
Yeah, decline on 14% fiscal income. Mobile games are on a decline ever so slightly from last year. So the online sphere where lots of people are playing, lots of people aren't paying. You know, Final Fantasy 15, 14, I always forget what the number is a subscription-based online game, right?
It
you pay
is.
a monthly thing. And they're slowly seeing that actually not working ever so because the space is becoming so many free. So this game, so fiscally it's not making money, and so people are going to start going away from it because that's the main reason they put them out there. I'm not talking Final Fantasy Online. That's going to go for a very long time. It's got too many. But you're going to start seeing people stop making the free-to-play type experience. They are.
Please, I really hope so.
Like, people are speculating.
I don't think so, but I really do hope they stop.
What's that foam thing that's basically Splatoon?
Foam Stars.
That's also Square Enix. I only found out the other day. That's free to play, is it? Because didn't I see that on PlayStation subscription?
It's releasing as part of PS Plus this
which
month,
isn't free.
but only for this
yes,
month.
it's a good idea,
meaning
promotion-wise.
Every month after this, is it gonna have to be bought?
I don't know. I hope but Splatoon is, right? I've never actually played it.
Splatoon is a premium game, but people love Splatoon.
I've never actually played it. I understand the premise of it. But yeah, like I say, it's interesting to see what the online space will be, because even survival games are dying off. There's too many coming into play, so they're slowly dying off again.
It's just...
But anyway, this game, value for money, non-existent. It is not worth it. I think the people who got it early should have got a refund, to be honest with you.
I think so too.
Or at least actual money back. Not
for the amount of money they've spent,
yeah.
and the amount of times corporates are still sticking their hand out for more money, they should be ashamed of themselves.
I agree. But it's Warner Brothers. They're too corporate, too big, too... You know, it's one of those things where they look at this and they just go on to the next project, because to them it's just a number, it's a software company, and it's a fiscal earnings to see how good it is or not. They don't really, the higher ups I'm talking now, don't really care that it was a Rocksteady IP.
I guess so.
You know, you got to be the fly on the wall to think the founders left. You got to think what caused that. That's got to be somehow massive. God knows, I'd really be intrigued what that was. It's got to be insane somehow. But yeah, not a good game. Pretty. Voice actors.
Very pretty. Sounds quite nice at times. And doesn't at others.
Yeah.
It's
so
such
sad.
It
is sad.
It's such a shame, really.
It is. It really is. Anyway, what did we score it then?
Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. Let's see here. The scores for this game went to Arkham Asylum, but got freed by Amanda Waller to take down the immortal Justice League. Why? They're just scores. They're not even good scores, and now they're supposed to kill the Justice League?
Right, I don't.
Anyway, stuff happened, and they didn't, but other things happened that managed to kill the Justice League. And it eventually matured into the letter grade rating of a flat D+.
Now, let's point that out. We were being subjective, and the visuals are good sometimes.
The visuals
the voice
are
acting
good.
is good.
I like the visuals.
The game as a whole is bad. Give a pat on the back on all those people who are involved in the really cool stuff and stuff like that, and they should go on to great, beautiful, amazing things. The game itself, if we could, we'd give an F. I don't think that would be even argued from your side. You'd give it an F if you...
I don't really want to give it an F, because there are certain parts that I feel
the jokes
were good, like the visuals and the voice acting. Giving a game an F, I'd feel like the entire game needs to fail.
I agree, yeah, or be just so broken. It's insane.
Yes.
Yeah, but that is
like
that level.
Men in Black.
Yeah, that game was...
Alien Crisis, that entire game failed.
That's true. That was a failure of a game. It's kind of crazy that... Again, this game does have its moments. I'm just obviously getting more riled up. It does. It's pretty. It's voice acted. The gameplay is horrible. The online,
it's not a good
always
game.
online. Also, you ever see that on any game, just makes you cringe like mad.
Exactly. This game, unfortunately, it's been tainted.
It really is. I just don't think
so sad.
It's not going to be fixed in my eye. But prove me wrong, Rocksteady.
Please, Rocksteady,
Warner
please.
Brothers.
We know you can.
Please do it. Dude,
we know you can, Rocksteady.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. It's like there's a really bad, depressing note.
And I don't like ending the podcast like that.
No. Okay. That's right.
But anyway, thank you for listening to this week's episode. If you'd be so kind, you can leave us a review so other people can find us as well. You can follow us on our social channels, YouTube, Instagram, and you can catch me on my email. I'm nick@criticalarcade.com.
I'm Dave at criticalarcade.com.
But besides for your email, Dave, where else can we follow you?
this is a good one. You can follow me. I am out and about, and here's the punishment: I will make you play this game for hours on end. The punishment is the game itself. It's like a M. Night Shyamalan or whatever his name twist. I will make you play the game we just reviewed.
You don't want to do that.
You really don't. Some of my other ones are far better.
You'll think, this is a fun game.
You will.
20 minutes later, I want to hear you say that again.
Yeah, in your purple haze of just, why am I shooting them? Why am I doing this?
No sense.
Yes, but yeah, I'll make you play the game. That will be your punishment.
Rather than playing Suicide Squad, You can support us on Patreon for exclusive content like Critical Cinema and our post show, which you should definitely check out. And Dave, how about you tell us, what have we got lined up for next week?
Next week we've got... It's always remarkable how old these games are, but they're very fresh in my memory. Indie game, which I know has a massive liking and following. It's 2015 Ori and the Blind Forest.
Correct.
Which I know is like this full-on, like... did you ever watch Fern Gully? Very old.
Fern Gully?
Fern Gully? Like an animated movie. It's all about the planet and nature and spirit and light and dark, and it's just supposed to be this fun, great platforming game, and Fern Gully has those vibes too. You should watch it.
I've not
You're missing
watched
out.
Fern
Fern
Gully.
Gully's great. But yeah, Ori and the Blind Forest is supposed to be beautiful and just a narrative journey, for lack of a better term. So I look forward to diving into that.
Definitely. So tune in next week to hear us talk about that, and we'll see you then. Cheers.
Cheers.